Mic check 1, 2. Making sure we're all good here, folks. Oh my gosh, Valigar, what a nice compliment to see as we are prepping the stream. I don't know why, but I love these streams. They make me feels better. Goodness gravy, that's... Thank you. Wow, that's... You're the light of my life right now. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get some last minute things and we'll be going live pretty soon. Oh goodness gravy, guys. It helps if I have the game on in order to capture it. Goodness. Oh my gosh. Okay, all is well and fine is good. Ladies and gentlemen, we are starting like 30 seconds early, I guess, because that's how I roll. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the official Rockfish Games stream. I am your host, your guide, your servant, Eric Schrader, the community ambassador for Rockfish Games. And today we're gonna talk about EVERSPACE 2 some more. Who'd have thought? What a concept. And we're gonna dive into a couple of different territories today. One of the biggest thing is, of course you know the drill. This is a gameplay live stream with game dev official responses to your burning questions, and you get to see bleeding edge development right out of the gate. So yeah, you show up to these streams, you engage with us, it's gonna be pretty awesome. My sound is too low. Get up there. We need that beautiful, sweet music in the background. There we go. Awesome. So yeah, a couple things that we'll be hitting on. We're actually gonna show you some of the darker side of game dev. Ooh. Oh man, one of these areas is really cool to look at. I'm actually excited to show you. We had a mesh that was supposed to settle on a territory go wrong. Anyway, I'll stop describing it. We'll show you in a little bit. But otherwise, we're gonna be cruising through Union, I think, for a little bit. There's a couple locations I cannot go to right now because they are so borked that I can't, it's not possible. But otherwise, we are going to explore a couple previous locations and, you know, just have the conversation. So when you guys have questions, when you guys are wondering, you know, how development's going, or you want to know a core aspect of the game or anything like that, and if you have those types of questions, by all means. I also want to put it out there that this is not a suggestions time. This isn't a sit down with me and explain what you think would make the game better. No. This is for clarifying development questions with you. If you have those suggestions, super great, that's awesome, but let's send those over to the Steam forums so we can consolidate those, make sure that we can go through them accordingly, have them all nice and tidy and organized so we can plug them in as needed. All right, so all that stuff out of the way, let's go ahead and dive right back into where we left off. We were at old friends on the Zarkov Border Patrol, a pretty looking place, which is nice. So that's good stuff. Visit Yawin orbit. Oh yeah, sure. Absolutely. Absolutely, we can do that. Let me just make sure I know what I'm doing. Okay, so we're doing a customs made error, so that should be fine. This will be good. Nice, pleasant experience. Are there any things to talk about right out of the gate? Yeah, so some UI stuff is a little bit weird right now. I think we addressed that last stream, but just for those who aren't familiar with it, yeah, so like right now, this shows as though it's like a controller, even though I'm using mouse and keyboard. Again, UIs, you're gonna see little tweaks and adjustments through that because work in progress. And then you're also gonna see a couple things that you don't have access to yet that are still technically in the works. So like the EMP missile launcher is one thing. We have the Bloodstar repeater. A lot of people have been excited about this one that we showed last week. And now it actually says Bloodstar repeater instead of Bloodstar repeater, which ironically, I guess is still accurate because it says repeater. Am I right? Am I right? Anyway, that's all right. So, and then we also have the Bloodstar catalyst, that also aids in the Bloodstar weapon usage. So, otherwise, everything's looking pretty good, looking pretty clean. I don't think there's too much else to explain right out of the gate, so we'll just go ahead and get in, and I'll be periodically looking over to see if you have those sweet, sweet questions. Will there be a way to travel faster? Oh yeah, oh yeah. Fast travel is in the works. If you haven't seen it yet, Merton, we actually do have an expansive timetable of events for how development is going to be delivered through a roadmap. And you can find that roadmap through the Kickstarter. Maybe there could be a super awesome individual in the YouTube chat who can drop a link directly to that update. That would be amazing if you did that for me. I would love you mucho. But otherwise, yeah, so there's lots of really cool infos on all of those things. All right, making sure we're not getting any frame drops. Things are good, excellent. Our consumables approved, not quite, but they are getting worked on a bit. We're not ready to talk about consumables just yet. There's still a lot more to go. All right, so we have to go here because of a viewer request, absolutely. Let's go ahead and get into this customs made order quest. Head to the warehouse in a very spooky environment. Actually, this is one of my favorite environments in the game as of right now. I just, the reason why I have so much appreciation for this is, for me, I've been able to see this environment build over time, right? And I think a lot of you guys have too, at least the diehards in here have, and seeing where it's gone from its early beginnings and the clouds being pixelated, and seeing like the varied levels
of the Zarkov border control.
Yes, thanks, Hive, I'm talking. But the varied levels of vibrancy that we've seen and just the geometry itself getting more realized over time really makes me happy.
Scientists at Prescott Starbase, their lost shipment should be somewhere inside.
Really makes me happy overall to see it all coming together. And this is one of many different locations, of course, right? That we want to have a very authentic feel that you have to overcome. So now we have to get this fragile parcel. It's behind an energy gate, so we need to look for some shields. I think they're behind it. Is that right? Yeah. Man, this weapon takes too long to fire. Let's use our repeater because it's so much faster. Yeah. Yeah, that feels good. All right. Now we should have access to a lot of things, including a brand new little guy down here, this energy orb socket. Well, I say brand new just in the moment, but of course you guys have seen this through your gameplay, if you do have access to the game. Fragile parcel. So I did address this last time, but whenever you collect items like this, it shows that goes into your inventory slot, but check this out. If we go back into here, it's still there. It's a mission item that should go into our quest inventory. Excuse me. Found a bug. I found a bug right here. Don't worry about that, okay? That'll get rectified. Fragile parcel. We will have that entire quest inventory so that it doesn't hog up your cargo inventory spot. Oh man, don't you love bugs? And live streams, bleeding edge development that you can't take back. Oh my gosh. That's also a straight upgrade. We'll take those. Another straight upgrade too. Beautiful.
I found the shipment. Let's return to the scientists at Prescott Starbase.
So we also have these secure containers. These are actually what's bound to this energy orb socket. I'm trying to remember where the energy orb gets distributed, but my brain is fried at the moment. I can't quite remember it because there's so many other things that I'm thinking about. So we're gonna go ahead and just travel back to Prescott and deliver this parchment. And then we're gonna head over to Yawan orbit just to see the beauties. And I also wanted to talk really briefly about one little quality of life improvement. So as you can see, when we're flying around in superlight, it's very simple in how it follows your mouse, right? Same thing on controller, like it follows, you know, which direction you're pushing on controller. When we lock onto a location, now the mouse is our camera. I didn't have to push any buttons. It just automatically does this because you're not gonna change direction, so you don't need this to move. Now it just goes into a nice little camera mode. So if you guys have never done this camera mode, now it basically forces you to. You have to look at our pretty graphics, dang it. You can't get out of it. Just a nice little pleasant addition. You might also notice that when we're pushing this button, there's not like a hard transition. It's not like a cutscene, it's just like boom. Instead you see that fluid motion that combines. I'm gonna show a little bit more of that in just a second. You'll be very pleased to note that the Alt button in all of its entirety now does this as well. So it's not this really quick snap sort of like jolt of a sequence. It's a nice buttery transition. I'll show you in just a second. I'll get to that when we get over to Sato orbit. So let me show that. All right, so we're here in Sato orbit.
This is where the outlaw gang is supposed to be hiding.
Yep, that's
The
right.
man from the Port Authority mentioned some caves. Let's go and find them.
Okay, so now I'm gonna push the Alt button, and look at that transition. Look at that transition back. Oh! Oh! Ooh! I don't know about you guys, like this is actually something that I'm really happy about. It's like, I'm way too happy about it, but like even in the cockpit, it's like you're looking around, look, it comes back to this middle. See that? Your neck doesn't just, like it actually, you rotate back. Oh my gosh, isn't that pleasant? A nice smooth transition. Smooth transition for you. Oh my goodness. So I'm pleased with these results. I hope that you guys also appreciate this little bit of an addition just to make things a little bit cleaner for you out there who love getting your sightseeing on, just to make it to where, you know, if you're going like this and you start getting attacked, you snap back, you know exactly where your ship was oriented. There's no problem seeing how things are going. Woo! All right. All right, let's find this outlaw in the cave, or outlaws as it stands.
Did the Prescott Port Authority send you? Yep, I'm here to clean this place out. You are welcome to try.
Ooh, Dem's fighting words. Take your
on.
credits. We're gonna use this as a blocker. Don't mind the fact that I can't see. This is something we've been talking about internally as well. Oh, actually, there's a secret, isn't there? Did we pass the secret? Maybe that's upcoming? No, it's right here, okay. So when you see these little lights that are red, you really need to shoot them. That's not the right light, it's somewhere else. Dang it. But in general, when you see red lights, you want to shoot them. Maybe I'm thinking of a different area entirely. That's mildly embarrassing, don't worry about it. Let's go through this cave. All right. Okay, so here we have an energy orb socket, so we're gonna need to find that energy orb from somewhere else. Nice and simple. Uh-oh. 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 All right, we're okay.
Damn it, you're a good shot. That's what they pay me for. We had...
Oh, that's just beautiful, right? As I missed all my shots to take him out. All right, let's keep going.
the same job once. Unfortunately, money doesn't buy you respect. At least not the pathetic sums they used to give us.
Sounds like you had a bad job. All right, let's go ahead and take this energy sphere back to its hold. And we'll get ourselves just one very simply found little secret. Simply? Sure. Efficient prime zapper and an EMP missile launcher? Hey, I'll take it. See how it stacks up in comparison? Oh yeah, that's just straight up better. Otherwise, I don't know, do we want to use a coil gun? I think we do, just for the sake of showing off that new sound effect that it has. For those of you who haven't heard it. I like it. Otherwise, let's keep on cruising through here. Ooh, Aethium crystal shards, gotta love it. Nice, simple mining, just kind of a shoot and go sort of system as of right now. If for anyone who's wondering, like, well, is that going to be the final way that mining works? We're actually looking at another system for mining that will be implemented in a future update. We kind of have this concept for both a mining and trading update as a whole. So you'll see stuff like trade lanes and opportunities for commodities to give you some semblance of meaning in the game. Since as of right now, they're basically credits that you just sell as soon as possible and there's no reason to hang on to them. So there will be more emphasis on commodities and ores and resources, stuff like that, in the future, pertaining to your character's growth and your opportunities. I love this tunnel.
Now, where are you?
Okay, we got to go back over there. I'm going to poke around over here really quick. Some iron, and there's a destructible wall highlighted in orange. Just see what's inside very quick. Ah, yes. Here are some lights that I was trying to talk about earlier. See all these red flashing lights? This is really what you want to go shooting. And it does simple stuff like opens a door and gives you an Eterna bypass. Those are nice things to have. So definitely poke around and see what's about so that you can maximize your opportunities as well, of course. Ooh, a prototype cargo unit? Yeah! Nice, I'll take it. Good, good. All right, so we're gonna head back this way because we want to defeat that outlaw leader. Oh, is that the ultra loud door? Guess it's fixed. Oh, probably. Yeah, there was a sound bug with something. It was like duplicating the sound file. Is that the one you're talking about, Grindel? Yeah, we had a couple of those, but pretty sure we got them all. And if we didn't, I mean, we'll keep working on it. It's not like we're gonna be done tomorrow. Making sure I'm not missing anything. Will the inventory get bigger? Yeah, so I mean, over time, there's gonna be, you know, obviously the cargo unit's gonna have more cargo slots. We're still evaluating the size of the cargo slots on the ships as a whole, especially because, you know, the full game state is meant to be around a level 30 player progression state, whereas at most you can get to level 14 in the current early access. So even just comparing those two situations from one another, it's really hard to distinguish what needs to be that specific sweet spot of like right now versus in-game state but we are working on that. It's going to be something we constantly evaluate because it's, you know, we can't really say, oh, this is what it has to be, because we're just not there yet. But rest assured, yeah, we'll be looking into inventory space, and also means to store as much as you humanly can, right, in a game that's all about loot. We don't want to restrict you too much on that. So, yeah, definitely know that we are making sure of that. All right, let's go in here. Third person this time.
You are working for people who have nothing but contempt for you.
And you're just plain thugs.
Got him.
Well then, let's end this.
Oh no, is there an armor drone? There is. Okay. Good, good, good.
More signatures nearby. This was the last one.
All right, let's head back to Prescott.
For those of you who don't realize why he died so fast, I just pushed him into the wall, and then he spawned his little escape pod thing, and I just pushed him into the wall again. Oh, yes. May I introduce you to Magnetic Repulsor? It is quite possibly my favorite device. Woo! Also, let's go ahead and add a mode to this. We should definitely do that. Oh, we have to wait for it to get off of its cooldown. So we will wait to do that, but definitely make it just a little bit better. Now it's done. Let's go ahead and do that. So different modes in the game allow you to upgrade your device. And currently the way that that works is you just basically just choose between 3 different options. You can also unlock all 3 options at the same time if you would like. Currently there's no inherent bonus to having them all unlocked other than being able to cycle between them quickly. But otherwise, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go with swing together. That way, if there's a clustered enemy, we can just push them all at once and get that nice explosion galore for just being a downright savage that we are. Also, let's go ahead and give my favorite Energize Boost upgrade right here. High pressure. This basically allows us to go into ramming speed, which feels really, really good. Will there be an easy way to transfer items from current ship to new ship? So the way that we do things as of right now is when you fly into the home base, when you want to cycle to another ship, what you can do is you can actually select a slot on your ship and it will show you what's on all of your other ships. So you can actually pick and choose which other ship you want to transfer it to. And so when you just click and select and click and select and click and select, like you can actually go through pretty fast and get all of the materials you want from any other ship to yours. That being said, this is something that we are still carefully inspecting. I can show you what this looks like very directly a little bit later in the stream. Go ahead and remind me on that if you will, since I think that's a really good question. I'll show you exactly how that process works. It is something that we are still making sure feels good. It feels snappy, it's fast. I mean, a big portion of our game is being able to just like jump in and play, right? So if you want to cycle between ships, we don't want to take 20 minutes of your time figuring out how to move everything around, right? Should be fairly obvious. So that is something we're continuing to look at, but I'll show you exactly what we are currently doing to know that it's not super crazy. I'm gonna go ahead and take this Bloodstar Catalyst off and we're gonna get this upgraded energy core. I just think it's too good to not use, even though our energy output, we're not getting that 70% increased weapon energy output for Bloodstar weapons now. Should still be fairly effective. We're just gonna have to cycle between other weapons. And that's okay. All right, so now I'm lost in a cave. We're just gonna go back out the way we came in. I think this isn't supposed to be here. Yeah, cool. Don't worry about that. Did he just pass through a door? It's all an illusion. Okay. Take out a Weber drone. Let's see, outlaw bomber and a scout. Let's dance. right, let's get this this outlaw bomber over to the asteroid where we can have a little bit more fun with them. Oh yeah, that's much better. Just shove him back into the asteroid a couple times. Oh, you're getting up? No, I don't think so. Let's playing Pong with a big boy. No big deal. There we go. Let's go ahead and add this to our consumables, and note that there is a 20-second delay when we do that. So you can't just like hold a bunch of nanobots in your inventory and then just pull them over as you need. So instead of being able to have this as your usable inventory, you would effectively use all of this. That cooldown is basically a exploit protection system. It is not finished yet. We are still looking to make sure it feels right. 20 seconds right now. I mean, internally, we think that it feels pretty good, but we'll see what the feedback comes in on whenever this does go live in April, along with a number of other changes that you have both seen and have not seen during the course of these live streams. Okay, let's go ahead and jump out to Yawin orbit, because I think it's just a very pretty place to look at, and we can talk about that a little bit more. Oh, good. It's still marked. So that's working. Let's go ahead and trigger this, and let's chat. Just a hologram wall, right? Welcome to Boundary Break. Nice. What happened to the seconds of immunity after being affected by a status? So, what's interesting is that what I have told you about that status effect has not been fully implemented yet. So that's the plan, that's the goal, right? So that's what we're going for whenever it launches in April. As of right now, I don't think it's working on a number of instances, but that is what it's ultimately gonna come down to. So for example, when we fire these EMP missile launchers, just so everybody's aware of what I'm talking about, when we fire this EMP missile launcher, it will stun a target for 8 seconds. But then that opponent should not be affected by EMPs for 30 seconds after that. So we get 8 seconds of stun, but we can't spam an EMP missile launcher at them to just like perma-stun them, okay? Same sort of concept with the use of the magnetic repulsor, which is what this individual is mentioning, Tiberius. He's talking about how, you know, I can push this opponent and he's stunned for a duration as he's kind of like just tumbling out of control. I can just keep pushing him over and over and over again, okay? So the magnetic repulsor isn't the same type of effect of an EMP generated effect. So as such, the stun versus the EMP, they don't read the same when you're looking at like the flags that they trigger, right? So we'll have to figure out if we want to put too much of a limitation on the magnetic repulsor or not. But at the moment, we haven't implemented it on the magnetic repulsor, and there hasn't really been too much discussion about it. If I'm being honest. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I kind of like being able to just straight up savage an enemy and just push them multiple times. But EMPing, I don't know. Maybe I'm making the same argument. We'll find out. We'll talk about it. We'll go through it. We'll break it down. It's a good question. It's a good thing to think about. All right, so here we are at Yawin orbit. An absolutely beautiful asteroid that's just been annihilated. GMB are present in the area, if only but to fly by. And we do see various mining operations and scavenging extractions going on by nefarious outlaw threats. Really want to get this proto scout down first, even though our shields are not really too much of an issue. Yeah, as you can see, we're just bullying him with magnetic repulsor, so he can't do anything. This definitely falls in line with how we don't want status effect stacking. Ouch! Oh boy. Now we need to find that armor drone. Oh my goodness. right, that's a little bit better. Woo! Keep backing up into asteroids. There's a lot in here. This is a very close quarter combat type of situation. Hard to avoid when you're trying to, you know, it's your traditional first-person shooter, right? When you like enter into the room with the obligatory tipped over table and you're like, okay, well that's a cover area, right? You know, every single one of you is a gamer, and I know you know what I'm talking about. Every single one of you has experienced this. That's effectively what's going on in these states of the play, right? You're going into this asteroid field and it's like, oh, okay, that's cover. There's gonna be lots of enemies coming around the corner. You gotta use that effectively. The difference is that in a first-person shooter, you don't run as fast as you can into a wall and take damage. Whereas here in space, that happens. Boosting about, turning your inertia dampeners on and off, you're gonna get a mixture of a lot of different effects, and you have to be careful about it. Whew. Let's try and tag him down. Oh my goodness. Hello there, base. Okay, we gotta disable this Viper.
I got this. Control.
There's a lot of guys here. All right. Whew. That feels a little bit better. Now, if only my aim was a little bit better. Oh, he's moving too fast. It's like they got smarter or something.
Very expressive.
No thank you missiles. All right. Another one focused down, good. Another sticky turret. We have more nanobots. Absolutely gonna equip those.
Yes, it
Come on,
does,
cooldown.
believe me.
Stay down. So a couple other quality of life improvements, some of which you might have seen if you've got a really keen eye, is that now whenever you pick up an item, it removes itself from your UI. So as you're tractor beaming it over to you, it's just gone. But then it shows up obviously in your inventory. This is to just kind of clear up the UI a little bit because, let's be honest, there can be a lot that starts populating whenever you're doing a lot of exploration and taking out a lot of foes. And this is something that we are slowly addressing over time. So like, for example, this executioner, see how it's green right there? We choose it and now it's no longer highlighted. It just goes into our inventory. It's no longer cluttering up because it says, hey, we got it. Same thing with that sensor. See how it goes away? It just waits until it gets to us, in which case, hey, hello, wow, okay, yeah, we'll take that. We take those. So, just the little things, right? Just little things. Man, I'm sad that that music's over. I'm gonna go ahead and just crush some of this stuff down into components. See you later, Gauss Cannon. All right, we're gonna use the Baron Executioner as opposed to the Bloodstar Repeater. Same weapon, but used very differently. Right? Very different in use. And this is something that we really want to do with all of the weapons in the game. We want to have them have uniqueness to them. Not just through their variations, but also through the modifiers that you can find as you're playing through the game experience as well. So what I mean by that is like the variations I'm talking about, these are two different variations. We have the Baron Executioner and we have the Bloodstar Repeater. They're both scatterguns, variations of each other. But then I also am talking about the modifiers. So on these particular two ones, they're not very exciting. I'm gonna straight up admit that. One is cannot be damaged, and the other one is 10% of kinetic damage bypasses the shield. So we want to make sure that those also feel meaningful and distinct depending on what weapons you are looking between. We don't want one modifier to be the be-all, end-all one where if you don't have it, then the item is junk, right? We want each one to provide a uniqueness to it, to give you a new opportunity just by having that modifier. So we'll see how that goes through development. It's not easy to do whatsoever. Maybe it sounds like it's super easy, but no, not even remotely. So we'll see how things develop. Favorite ship right now? Oh man, my favorite ship that's currently in the game. My favorite ship is probably the Scout. But I will also admit that it's probably the hardest one to play as. Rightfully so. The ship should actually be really hard to play. But man. Is the Vanguard in the game yet? No, the Vanguard is not in the game yet. Okay, let's answer some questions because I've just been showing some intense gameplay, which has been a lot of fun. But I want to make sure you guys know that this isn't just some sort of rerun. I do actually see your names in the chat, and I do see your questions. So let's get a couple of those handled, and then we'll show some dev shenanigans, okay? We'll have some fun today. New weapon types. Not in this particular build. We did talk about Bloodstar weapons being added last week or 2 weeks ago. I think it was last week. But we're gonna see more variations of weapons and modules and even enemy types. So that's gonna provide a lot more range of immersion through where you're adventuring and what you're coming across. But that's just one example in what we currently are offering. There's gonna be more in the future. Absolutely more. More. Do you have any plan about the way color sets are applied when you're switching ships to your base? Because right now it seems to keep the last color set you applied even on another ship. Yeah, so the way that it currently works, Illuminati Order, curious username, basically is that whenever you choose your ship colors, you have 4 different slots to hold on to color schemes, right? If you buy a new ship, what it does is it transfers those customized color schemes from the last ship to the new one, but the color schemes are actually independent from one another. So if you go back and you change those 4 different color schemes on that first ship, those will be different from the 4 color schemes of your second ship. So right now, I think the grand total is you can hold 3 ships, right? So that effectively means that you can have 12 unique color schemes bound to 3 different ships. Right, as of right now. But we'll see more options to that in the future. We're certainly not done with customization. You know that. I talk about that all the time. Why enemies do not punish? She always flying only forward. Oh, I'm not flying only forward. Do you think I'm only flying forward? Woo, no. I'm flying more sideways than I am forward. Will DLSS be implemented? That is going to be a conversation for another time. I know that our team has been hard at work in implementing multiple types and layers of technology, so we'll just have to address that in the future. We'll have more information on that in the future. That's probably better to say. He has like 8 chats open. It's true. I'm like answering all the YouTube stuff and Twitch is like, bro, where are you? This is totally a rerun. No, I'm here. Hang on. Danlock84 says, are you sure this isn't some sort of rerun? You caught us, 100%. Let's see. How will ship skins work with the color system? I really need to be at a base for this conversation. But basically, let's go ahead and head over to, let's go back to the home base. Let's go back to the home base and let's talk about this in more detail, because I think this is important. This is an important one. A lot of you guys have questions, and also we need to actually go back to Union anyway in order to show the dev shenanigans. So that should be fun. So let's head back and we'll talk more about it. You should fly only forward to show the difference. Oh man, if I only flied forward to attack, I'd be dead in a heartbeat. Oh, I should mention, actually, Shuzan brings up a really good point. He says, next week we do rerun then. So, I'm actually gonna be out next week. I'm not gonna be available. Wait, no, is it next week or 2 weeks? Shoot, is it next week or 2 weeks? Shuzan, I don't know my own schedule, help me. It's the week after. Okay, next week I'll be here. Okay. Next week I'll be here for the stream. It's the week after that, I'll be out on a short little vacation. Thank you, Shuzan. I appreciate it. Thank you for keeping track of my life better than I do. Yeah, I'm currently flying a Striker. Can Barbie? Yep. This is a Striker class, painted in Bloodstar Red. And now we're heading back to Union Bridge. Will there ever be a nearly travel to home base? A nearly? You mean like an instant, like a fast travel system, Tom Albrecht? Yeah, we're working on a fast travel system so that whenever you're navigating around the map, you know, like even as we are, like we had to go back to the warp gate. Now we're flying into Union. Now we're gonna fly to the home turf. You know, that might seem a little bit tedious because I mean, for all intents and purposes, it kind of is. Especially for a really fast, snappy, action-paced RPG that we're going for, right? But at the same time, it takes time to get to places. That said, if we had to do that method, you know, if you're going from Cedo all the way out to the I'm gonna mispronounce it again. Kate Nebula? We're going to this nebula, right? Say we wanted to go that. We'd have to go to the site, warp, go to the site, warp, go to the site, warp. That can start being teased. It's like, oh man, I got 30 minutes on my lunch break. I'm gonna play some EVERSPACE 2. And you spend that time just traveling to a new location. That's gonna be such a drag. We get you, we feel you, we understand. That will absolutely be addressed. Just wanted to make sure you guys know that. Why enemies never fly sideways? That's because it hasn't been implemented yet. But I can assure you that Sven and other members of our team have been putting together some really cool ideas on how the AI systems will be evolving in EVERSPACE 2. I have talked about it a little bit during the streams, and I'll just straight up tell you that we want to make sure that the AI systems that we invoke in the EVERSPACE 2 experience don't feel dull and especially don't feel dumb. We recognize the fact that in its current form, there are a lot of ships that just find you and they fly straight at you to shoot you down. Yeah, that's currently how it's at, but we're not done with that. We're absolutely not done. Enemies not flying sideways will change. Okay, so now that we're in here, I wanted to talk about this ship customization. So basically, the long story short, Tulol Tulameo, pertaining to ship skins. So obviously you have your 4 custom styles, but then there's this preset, right? And there's space here. There's your answer. You have your custom styles, and then you have your presets. Your selectable, choosable skins that you've accrued. Okay? That is the current plan of action. Now, of course, in addition to this, you will have more options on your ship modules, your cockpit, so many more details that I'm really excited for you guys, even though I know you have no idea what I'm alluding to, but the customization is going to feel really nice when it all does come together. Right now, it's pretty basic in its format. You choose 3 different colors, you choose a finish, you choose the roughness, you choose your logo, your emissive lights, you know, nothing too crazy. We recognize that right now. It's going to get a lot deeper. So skins won't be able to be altered by colors. I imagine that it's going to work very similarly to these presets. Yeah, so like the preset, and maybe, let's see, would that be Matthias? Would Matthias be handling the colors? I'm not sure, actually. Matthias handles the modeling for the player ships, and I think he does a dang fine job myself. But otherwise, pertaining to the color themes, you've actually seen a bulk of them. If you guys recall that very massive image with like the 50 different color options you can choose from, there's a lot. So a lot of those presets kind of stem from that territory, to where then you would have to recreate it going through a custom style. Maybe we'll have it to where like you could drag a preset over to a custom style. That sounds like it would be really cool. I just thought of that. You're welcome. Now somebody on the team's gonna be like, dang it, Eric, now they're gonna expect that. Why would you say that on stream? I'm sorry. I think that would be amazing. Somebody clip that so I can send it on to my buddies. Anyway. But yeah, I mean, otherwise, yeah, presets will be presets, custom styles will be custom styles. All right. But that's the important elements about customization. There's a lot more to it that we haven't revealed yet. Lots and lots of good stuff. Will there be legendary ship types? It's a curious question. So I know that we have different tiers of the player ships, and we have different modules that compose the player ship whole. Regarding legendary ship types in that sense, or like maybe you're referring to like another player ship that you can actually collect that's legendary, I think that might actually hurt the game experience, because that inherently makes one ship better than everything else, and we don't want to go that direction with the ships specifically. Yes, there are tiers. Yes, there's indicated progression that you're buying better ships from the last ones, much like the inventory works. You're finding equipment that is literally better than the older stuff you found at lower levels. When you hit in-game, however, that all changes, because now you're comparing likeness to variations, right? So when you hit that in-game state, you're gonna have your striker versus your gunship versus your scout versus your etc. to compare those in-game stats to one another. And you have to decide which direction you want to take. And if there was that legendary option, it'd be like, well, that's the only choice, right? Like you'd go for that legendary one as opposed to the others. So it gets into that kind of fickle territory we want to be careful about. Now, regarding items, those legendary properties are absolutely a concern as well. And we want to make sure that they feel right in the gameplay, to where legendaries provide a very outstanding effect and ability, while also not making everything else terrible. So balancing is a very challenging thing in game dev. We're continuing to work on it. So I do like the question though. I mean, conceptually, a legendary fighter sounds really cool, but yeah, you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Oh, we completed a challenge. Dismantle 20 common items. Hey, more challenges. Neat. Okay, so we collected a bunch of stuff. Oh, we needed to turn in that package. Whoops. Tractor beam? We need more iron. Really? That's fine. We'll just store a bunch of stuff because I'm a hoarder. Oh, we also need to... Whoopsies. We also need to reload our missiles and repair our ship. Okay, that was fast. Cool. All right, so now let's go look at some broken territories. All right, guys. So, a little story about this. So, we have been going through a lot of the game geometry and making sure that things feel right for the player. Obviously. When we're doing these handcrafted locations, it's imperative that it guides you in some degree or capacity to understand where things could potentially be hidden, and also have those blatant sections where you're not going to find it unless you look around, right? That's the joy of doing handcrafted versus procedural. Procedural, random is random and random is random. You could just cruise around at random to find something at random. Okay, well there's a benefit to that in like a roguelike formula, but in an open world RPG where there's a bit more persistence, kind of sucks. So we changed that. The foundation changed, so we're changing that system. And through that process, it means that we revisit these sites and we adjust the level geometry to ensure that it all feels right and good. And sometimes that backfires. Example A. Oh, looks fine, you say. Everything's good. Wait a second. Wait a second. A whoops? Ladies and gentlemen, game dev in a nutshell. Everything's on fire. This is okay. In fairness, it looks really freaking cool. It looks like the planet's getting annihilated or something, right? Like, look at this section right here. Oh my gosh. Whoops. Yeah, this is a slight problem. It's a minor detail. This is the type of stuff that we have to put up, I think, through game time, guys. People are like, that's so cool, I like it. All right, it's pretty sick, but it doesn't quite feel right. So the big issue, I'm told, I do not understand how this happened entirely, but what I'm told is it has to do with how the meshes go together for creating the level geometry. So as you guys know, we take very great care in handcrafting all of these locations, and all of this debris and stuff is like hand placed. And so when you have all this type of stuff that's been intentionally set where it needs to go, and then meshes don't align, this is what happens. Everything is on fire. That is legitimately what happens. Everything's just on fire now. Now, I also hear that the fix is relatively easy, so hopefully that that'll be all squared away in the future. But oh yeah, also this base changed. So you can see that this environment is getting worked on. I actually don't know where it's at, but there's a new cave system on this planet too. Ooh, new stuff happening to old locations. Yeah, we're not done actually. We're not done with Cedo. We're not done with Union. There's still more stuff coming for everything. But yeah, there you go. Just a little snippet of some of the crap we have to deal with, even though it does look really cool. There you go. All right. All right, so now let's go to, actually, I need to check my cheat sheet. List of things that I wanted to make sure that I covered. One moment, please. Just, I promise you it's gonna be okay. Just doing a really quick check. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about auto aiming too. So this actually isn't present anymore, because if it would, oh, it would suck. It would suck so hard if it was. But basically, we had an issue with auto aiming as well. In short, auto aiming no longer worked. It was completely broken. Just completely broken. Which means like it wouldn't work. There was no auto aim. And the reason is because we were tweaking the systems and how it works with the weapons, focusing it on mines. Because we've seen a little bit of feedback. Mines are kind of hard to shoot in the game. They're kind of a challenge to hit, right? So we just went in, we tweaked that, we adjusted a little bit, and we broke everything else. Again, this is the process of game dev that just really sucks. And we're glad that it wasn't like pushed through to you guys, because you probably would have been mad for like a week or two until we were able to hotfix it. So how many things do you break? Oh, we break stuff on a constant basis. There's like this phase where we just go through and we're adding content, and we're just like, screw it, we don't know what it's gonna do, but we're just gonna plug it in there. And then after we've done all the plugging in, then we have to go back and say, so what did this actually do and how can we stabilize this? And that's a big part of what we're doing right now through game dev, is adding a bunch of stuff that ends up breaking other things, and then we make them work together. We want it to, at the end of the day, to be a nice, big, beautiful dance, and the steps are in sync. And right now, there's a lot of toe stepping, all right? Toe stepping. Whew. Toe stepping. Anyway, let's get back over to Union. And let's complete our little side mission here. Spelunking for mad cappies. Yeah, seriously, life of a dev. Not even joking. But we are very, very fortunate that we have a very active community with a lot of suggestions and ideas. And I'm really also appreciative of you guys being able to show up to these streams, that's what they're called, and asking more questions and engaging in conversation and just being here, because we know that you desire a very great gaming experience, much like we do. And it's just good to be able to show you what's going on, so you know, are in the know. It's pleasant. It's very pleasant for us. You patch one bug, 2 more appear. That's inaccurate. It's you patch one bug, 10 more appear. No, hi, man. Yeah, spot on, man. All that tightly packed debris field would make for a great location in space. Oh yeah, we actually, if you look at the, maybe this is a little too revealing. Maybe I shouldn't go here, but I'm gonna say it anyway. If you look at the original trailer for EVERSPACE 2, I'm talking like the original one, there's actually some pretty tightly packed debris fields that are in space. They do in fact exist. We just have to make sure they can get fleshed out accordingly and feel good. All right, we need to go to the DMC station. We'll land here. There's going to be some talking. I'll check over your questions and see what else I can answer. Here we go.
You cannot dock here.
Yes, I can.
Yeah, we had that already. Welcome back.
Is this what you've been waiting for?
This is not logically possible.
And yet, there it is. What a wonderful coincidence. This is for any trouble you might have run into.
You are paying a thief.
Come on. It was you who ordered the stuff in the first place. Now stop bickering and say thank you.
Thank you for bringing me my peanut oil.
Don't you hate it when robots get hangry?
Excellent. All right, just making sure that we've got you guys covered in the chats. About locations, any plans for primarily water places, ocean planets, big lakes, waterfalls, wide rivers, anything? I'm sensing a desire to see some water. That's the theme I think you're going for there. So water is one of those very beautiful and very dangerous elements to plug into situations. Like when you have a game that's focused on water environments, they go freaking ham on what those look like, right? And it's incredible. But if you have a game that's actually, in a lot of cases, open world games as a whole that have water, they're much more stagnant. They're much more like it's just a textural component that you see on the ground that just has like moving examples and whatnot. So we want to be very careful in what type of environments that we're adding into the game, be it both in space and also planet side, to make it feel more vibrant, more biological in some cases, more stagnant in other cases, dangerous, horrifying, exciting, etc., etc., etc. But there's a lot of steps in order to go through that to bring it all together, right? So basically what I'm saying is, yeah, there's a lot of ideas out there and what we can bring to the table in these more organic environments and spaces, but we are going to be very careful about how we do that. So I'm also curbing your expectation to not think you can like fly down to a water planet and then like go underneath the surface and you see big fishes swimming around and like have all this very organic flowing structure and bubbles coming off your ship. Like, whoa, calm down there, Tiger. Like, let's dial that expectation back, and I will just say, yeah, we're looking at other different types of environments for planets. Whew. Spaceship underwater would be epic though. Oh yeah, for sure. It's done pretty coolly in other games. I'm not gonna deny that. So who knows? Yes, kayaking in space. Woo! Guys, I don't know. I mean, I know that we want to make Dax proud, but that might be a little much. Oh, so an underwater city confirmed.
Violation of protocol detected.
All right, let's just keep going. You guys are ridiculous. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get out of Prescott Starbase.
Deploying fire.
We're gonna head to some other locations. I'm getting a couple game hiccups, and I think it's because it's trying to think about too much. And we're gonna go to... Unfortunately, we can't go to Cephas Downs or Forlorn Vale because we're not ready to pull back said Vale. There's more stuff coming. Of course, you knew that. You knew that. Union's not done. It's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot added. But we can go to some other sites. If you guys missed it last week, I actually showed an active warp gate at Cartwright's Wake. Woo! This one's actually kind of fun. We go here. Actually, I should ask you guys, is there anything that you wanted to specifically see or have any questions about? I know that Noah Damaris Starport is actually really cool to look at. That could be a fun one. But otherwise, let's hit you up a little bit. How much are you influenced by the Crawl Speed Equinox series? I'm not gonna lie, Merton. I'm kind of scratching my head on that one. I'm not familiar with Equinox myself. I'm gonna have to do some research on it. That's not to say that I'm a representative for every single memory on the Rockfish team. I'm sure we have members who are familiar with that title. I just personally am not. Let's see. Making sure you're all taken care of. Okay, here's one. The roadmap shows future updates to new ships and planets and regions. Is there a timeline on when we're going to be able to mix and match ship components? Or is that still under development? If you're referring to like the ship modules, that is gonna be, it's gonna take a little bit of time. But if you're referring to like the, items, of course, that you can interchange those all the time. I think you're talking about modules, I think. So like new modules for the Scout and the gunship, for example, those are just going to be introduced over time. And of course, we'll let you know when that happens. They're just not done yet, the long story short. Actually, I really appreciate this comment. I'm going to read this aloud. It says, "It is good that you do not let the hype train get to train unrealistic territory." And yeah, that's something that I want to be really clear in these live streams, because like that's why we do the live streams. We don't want you guys to have this insane unrealistic expectation of what our product is going to be. Like, we want to tell you straight up the direction it's going, and we want you to be a part of that, right? That's why we love your suggestions and your feedback that coincide with that vision. It really is a beautiful process to bring together through early access to make it the best it can possibly be. And if you want it to be something that it's not, I mean, we straight up tell you that ain't it. We're not trying to say that you're wrong and your idea is dumb, because that's not the truth of the matter. That idea works in another environment, but understanding what our vision is and the direction that we're taking that, I mean, that's why I love being here with you guys, so that you can straight up ask like what this looks like, or why that's done in the way it is, or X, Y, and Z. So keep that up. You guys are awesome, and I really do appreciate that. Can we have hanging fuzzy dice? Goodness gravy. I've seen this one so many times. Oh my goodness. There's gonna be more customization in the future, you guys. But like, we're your best friends, Eric. Just do what we want. It's just a little ask. You. All right, let's keep going. Where are we going? I can't remember. Let's go to Noah Damaris. That's a good one. Lots of fun, exciting times over here. Oh no, you're fine, Chiron. You're great. You're great. I would hope that you guys would mess with me a little bit. All right, let's see. Oh, Spoot Knight. Spoot Knight's got a question here. The confusion between, or maybe just a statement, excuse me, the confusion between ship model pieces and equipment both being modules happens enough that the name needs to change, I think. Yeah, so the reason why it gets kind of in that sticky territory, right, is because we have a modular design for the ships, and then there are modules for the ship through itemization, right? So you're right, it does get into that really fickle territory. Maybe we can just slap a different term on it, you know, and just like argue semantics all day, every day. Maybe we just need to change it to like ship parts versus ship modules. I don't know. It's tricky. It's tricky. But at the end of the day, naming conventions, that's easy stuff to change. Much like you saw in our equipment that I got rid of. Like, we need to like delete some text. We need to change a word. We need to fix a typo. Easy peasy, so long as we know where it is. Like, you guys catch something like that, let us know. We'll fix it. But yeah, I mean, that's no worries. Less confusion is always better. I do agree. So we'll see what we do. We'll see what we do. It might not change anytime soon, but noted. Which other space-based games do you take inspiration from?
I have received a job offer from the local communications office. They are looking for a level-headed person who can help maintain peace in the DMZ.
Well,
Might be something. Where can I find him?
At the docking point of the Damaris Port Authority.
there are so many games to list in regards to what we have been inspired by. Games from our childhood, you know, stuff like Privateer, Elite, the original Descent, but also Free Space. I mean, obviously Freelancer, right? Galaxy on Fire, sure. I'll say that we were inspired by it, even though we created it. That's fine. Yeah, I mean, there's so many beautiful, vibrant. I would even say like TIE Fighter, X-Wing. I would even throw Star Fox in there. Okay, we're going that. Like, there's so many different parts and pieces that you can be inspired by. Homeworld, sure, yeah. Actually, that's on the list. There's so many. Destiny is a clear inspiration. I think that it's also important to note, and I'm glad that you said Destiny, because like it's also important to note that like this game is not the fruit of our labors because we're inspired by just space games. Like, there's a lot of first-person shooters that are bringing this together. We have actually taken a lot of inspiration. We've been very heavily inspired by Destiny. Also, Diablo. We're gonna say 2 and not 3, just to satisfy a lot of our demographic out there. I mean, there's so many. It just keeps going, right? I mean, but this is also coming from developers. Like, we've been in the industry for a while. Rockfish is our new platform that we've only been a part of for 2 games. Yes, in PC territory. But as far as everything goes, like, truly, we have played a lot of games, a ton of games. And there can be some things that we implement that are pulled from like a tower defense game that we're just like, hey, I like that little UI component, or the way that little doodad was handled over here. Like, there's so much. Armada? So just to give you some sense of where my mind went with that, I actually went to Star Wars Armada, the tabletop game, in which case I can actually say that has influenced me a little bit and how I've gone about some of my conversations through the course of development as well. A tabletop game. It comes from all over. It's nuts. Game dev is silly. It's crazy. EVE Online. Okay, slow down there. Whoa. The only thing we were inspired by EVE Online is the first 3 letters. All right, anyway, let's keep going. Oh, hey, Ion Radio. Nice to have you here. Oh my gosh, what a pleasant surprise. All right, let's go ahead and dock at the Damaris Port Authority. Let's see. Actually, let's talk about this location a little bit, because this site is actually, this is a very large location. Hopefully you guys aren't seeing any of the frame cuts that I'm getting. If you are, my apologies. sometimes my computer gets really excited, and so do I, frankly, because there's just so much to talk about. There's so much to show. But this is not a small base. Like, let's just zoom out for a second and see how tiny my ship is in comparison to this bad boy. That is a very large base. Yeah. Okay. Very, very big. Mucho gusto. Is no small fry at all. And this thing, like, we can go for a while on this base. Like, this is just gonna pull this bad boy out for a bit. Like, this is a very large structure, folks. This is a massive structure. And that little pixel down there is our spaceship. Also looks like some of the level geometry might be off in this area. Just because game dev and, you know, issues. But otherwise, which pixel? Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't point it out. But this is an explorable station. Like right here, you can see that there's some stuff going on. There's a shield, right? You can look through the shield and you can see that there's those red lights that I told you guys to watch out for, that you can engage with, right? There's like little hidey holes and secrets, like this little red button. Shoot the little red button. Shield generator. Shield goes down. Look, now we can get in here. Look, there's loot containers. And this is just this corner of this very massive station. There's a lot of different things that you can do in this single site. A lot. All right. Oh my goodness. It's so every time that you go into a location and you're just like looking at it, and you might be inclined to think that's it. It's just a base. Remember, these bad boys are handcrafted, and we're putting a lot of detail, a lot of work into every little thing that brings this together. And when we're looking at this map, and all these different points that you go to, and then you realize that this station is just one point. Guys, we have 6 more systems to go. Woo! And I am so excited to be on this ride with you guys. Oh my goodness. There's a lot. It's a lot. So, let's keep at this. Let's go ahead and go to the Port Authority, see what they're talking about. And I might do like a game refresher. I might restart the game because I'm getting a bit more hiccups than I would like. So, my apologies for that.
The communications office? I'm here for the job.
Oh, good. Things are crazy today. If you would give me a moment. All right, I need to see your references, and most importantly, your portfolio.
My what?
Ugh, don't tell me you don't have a portfolio. I need to see if your writing can be straightforward, unbiased, and as diplomatic as it gets. We can't have someone who turns every little outlaw raid into breaking news.
I thought you were looking for someone to maintain peace in the DMZ.
Oh, don't tell me you're another vigilante. Every cycle, more and more like you pour into the DMZ. Just because this is a former war zone doesn't mean that they can take matters into their own hands. It is our job to keep them informed on what is actually going on. Educate them about treaties, warn them of solar storms, keep this social experiment called Cluster 34 from descending into chaos. To add insult to injury, we just started to get in reports of Okar randomly attacking convoys, and now everyone is losing their minds. That's why we need someone whose prose could curb a tornado, and that is clearly not you.
Ouch.
No, but I could help you find out what is going on with those Okar attacks.
Actually, that would be helpful. All right, I just received a message that another incident is taking place at the Ceto jump gate.
Convenient.
You could start there.
I'm on it.
Thanks. Hey, who put out the piece about the mining cap on Insidium? Those numbers are all wrong. Cluster 34 is a dead man walking, I tell you.
All right. Excellent. Michael also says something that is very important I know that I get really excited sometimes, and I just want to make sure that we are adjusting those expectations accordingly. When I'm talking about Noah Damaris Starport and how expansive it is, it's just one location of Union. I should also note that Union is actually going to be our largest system. So, in the entire game. So, we've seen Cedo, we've seen a lot of Cedo. It's kind of your playground, the early beginnings of the game to kind of get acclimated to the different systems, etc., etc. Union is where everything is like, comes together. And so we want to have it nice and detailed. As we go venturing out into the other systems, they are not going to be at the same scale as Union. So that is very important to just curb that expectation. At the same time, let me be excited, okay? Because seriously. So yeah, but just do know that. Do know that. Okay. There was something else I wanted to address. There was another question, and maybe I'm... Hang on, scrolling. Are we gonna get some King of Satellite Disc-like spaceship? I want to recreate Independence Day, Will Smith getting revenge. Well, let me tell you what, Rogers Cat. If we do anything close to a satellite disc-like spaceship, it's going to be referential only, or maybe crashed or scannable somewhere. Several of our stations are actually kind of like that. But as far as like a player ship, no, that's not how we're gonna roll. That'll be reserved for referential stuff. We really want our ships to look very, what's the word to describe these ships? We want them to be very fighter-like. I mean, yes, we want them to have some semblance of a spaceship, but I mean, if any of you guys are actual rocket scientists, you know that this isn't how engines work. That's not how spacecraft would you don't need wings in space. Okay, yes, you are correct, but at the same time, we don't freaking care. We want it to look cool. Do you want it to look cool? Because that's what we want to do. It's a video game. Have some fun. Oh my gosh, what a delight. So yeah, that's where we're going in that territory. Circular ship. Yeah, that does sound like it could be interesting, but just not the direction we're taking it. Pointy. This is. I think this might be the pointiest ship that's actually possible. Now that you say that. But I digress. Okay. Let's go ahead and distinctive. That's a really great word, Cryron. That's a really great word. We want them to be distinctive, just like your main characters in an RPG. We want them to really stand out with that sword arm or that spiky hair or that ridiculous backpack or those bulging shoes. Like, we want to have that trait that makes them really stand out. Except for you guys, you get to freaking customize it and make it the way that you want. All right. Man, I got really excited about that. Whew. Battlestar Galactica Viper. Ooh, that sounds nice. I'm sure that somebody on the team is familiar with it. So say we all. Michael's AFK for 10. All right, guys, spoilers. All right, let me talk about everything coming up. Oh my goodness. Michael has been a crazy person, guys. I'm gonna legitimately tell you all, gonna get you a little slice of what it's like in game dev. Seriously, this boss man is legit. He's been talking to people all day, every day, making sure the coverage for EVERSPACE 2 is what it needs to be. And when I say that, I don't mean changed and modified so that it's a bunch of lies and claiming we're something that we're not. It's in fact, he's making sure that people are sending out the real deal so that when somebody's talking about EVERSPACE 2, their expectations are curved. We actually have had a couple of situations where it's like, we need to address what people are saying about their game, making it sound like it's something it's not. And that's how we intervene. Michael is top notch at this. He is a mastermind when it comes to our PR. Oh my gosh. So also the fact that he even freaking shows up during these live streams to help answer questions. The CEO, what the freaking heck? So I hope you guys really do appreciate his time and his commitment to you. It's insane. The man is a mad lad. So I think he's AFK, but if you are still here, Michael, thank you for being a fantastic boss. All right, anyway. Let's go ahead and we can look at some new ships. Especially because we've been talking about the modular approach to the ships. I think that's something really exciting. Something that's really good. Camera angle on this, I think, is a little too skewed. We need to adjust that camera angle. Oh man, look at me QA testing during a live stream. That's naughty. All right, so let's go ahead and look at, wait, can I go through these ships? Michael's AFK, let's go through them. All right, so we got this gunship, perfect. We got the striker, excellent, nice. We have an interceptor, good. And we have a sentinel, good. Okay, so nothing I can't show. Whew, dodged a bullet on that one. All right. But you can see, like, even between this sentinel and this other sentinel, like there's a lot of difference between these two ships. Same exact stats even. Whoa. That doesn't happen all the time, but in this case it does, but they look completely different. And if anybody is also wondering about like the cockpit and how that affects your first person view, oh, absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna use some dev controls because I can, and everybody hates me when I do this because, you know, dev controls, but like I can go over here and I can change the wings and stuff. So we're gonna change the cockpit to be down in the front like this. And so you can see like the engine right there. See how it's right in front of us out the cockpit window? You can see the back of the ship. Pretty neat, right? So then when that cockpit changes, like it's all very much changed. So let's put ourselves on the back now, like that, right? So now when we go into this view, that engine's not right there. You see the wing all the way back because now the engines themselves, like this all is reflective of where it actually is. We're not using some sort of like other positioning sort of trick. It's like the ship doesn't vanish. It's actually still there. And actually I can prove it even more to you by going into the camera mode and then going into the cockpit. Look, it's all actually there. Like we're not fooling you here. We're not messing around. It's all there. It's all part of the ship. So when those parts and pieces are moving around, they actually are. This is a fun little detail. All right. But the chair's empty, ghost ship. Oh my gosh. Somebody was gonna say it. I love you, Loud Paperclip. All right, we're gonna cruise around in this environment just a little bit longer, just to show you that there's little hidden secrets and trinkets about. I mean, this is a very massive station. So all the way over here, these broken pieces. There's more areas that you can actually like fly into from this brokenness. And like there's even this shield over here. Like, oh, how do we get in there? Well, there's some shield generators all along the passageway. Look, there's a power core at the end of it. It's probably gonna be used for something else. And look, just the station is ridiculous. Yeah, and I think there's supposed to be an asteroid over here. So that's kind of funny. But yeah, I mean, you can see, like, you could even figure out like the ring on that side of the, it's right here. Like it all makes sense. Like we made it first and then we broke it apart. Oh my goodness. It's been a lot of fun designing these locations. Will there be the option to test drive a ship before buying it? What a curious question. You know, I'm just mulling over what that looks like in my mind, just because like, I see a lot of developing a situation for that might end up being more of a challenge than what it's worth, right? I do like it in theory. I'll give you points for that. I'll give you points for that. All right, is Marco in the chat? I don't think he is. I'm going out on a limb. I don't, and maybe Casper's in the chat. Quick question, I didn't clarify this before the stream. Can I go to unknown signals Is anybody on the team? Community, you calm down. I'm asking Rockfish. I'm asking my brothers. Can we go to unknown signals in this build? Or is it still borked? I have to be really careful here. Anybody know? Yeah, you can go? Okay, good. Thank you, Casper. I appreciate it. Let's go to an unknown signal. Okay, yeah. All is fine and well and good. Yeah, I figured we should do some combat because we haven't really blown some stuff up for a while. Good, good. It's an outlaw demolisher, all right. Why am I using a kinetic damaging weapon on a ship that has a tremendous amount of shields? That was a doofus move, all right. Now shield's gone, very effective. Oh, I missed! No, don't get away! No, 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 no! There we go.
Oh, credits. Nice.
Indeed. All right, now let's go to this guy. And this actually is a good time to mention the auto targeting on mines, which has been adjusted. So normally the coil gun is like a terrible choice to shoot mines down with. And you can see just from him shooting these, I mean, it does take a couple shots, but that's again, because the coil gun, like it really does suck against objects like this, but it actually hits them now. This is just a small quality of life improvement to make it more possible to shoot mines down as opposed to being incredibly too difficult. All right, there we go.
Satisfied your thirst for combat yet?
Not really. I want more. So we'll do a little bit more combat and then we'll then I want to show you guys some really cool community stuff that you guys have been posting some awesome things. Oh my gosh. Collect some items over here. Test flight by save scumming. I suppose you could do that. Speaking of saving, actually, I'm glad that you brought that up. We're actually looking at new options for saving, including the curious ability to save anywhere at any time. We are making sure that we're very careful about that because, like, you know, if you save right before a missile hits you and you're on 1 health, you know where I'm going with that, right? We want to make sure it feels right. We want to encourage a strong use of saving so that when you find your loot, you keep it and nothing takes it away, right? That's one of the main elements of why we want to offer this saving. We really hope people don't find new means to exploit a saving structure because you know that's not the developer's intent. We want you to be engaged, and in order to engage you, we do have to challenge you. There's a reason why you can't just go walking into a level 50 territory with level 1 gear and be okay, right? So we'll see how that keeps going forward. But yeah, this is something that we are working on implementing to where you can save anywhere. And I think that's actually going live in the April update, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll have even more information on that in the future as things kind of get fleshed out further. But yeah, that's one of the really strong ideas we have. We really want to make that happen. So we'll see what we can do. This game needs more lens flare. You guys. Let's push them both into this structure here. Yeah, that's fun. I just like being pushy. Yeah, it's fun. What a noob! Oh my gosh! Look at this guy. Yeah, this guy's like stuck in the geometry. Okay, he got away. Man, I tell you what, I love the scattergun. Oh my gosh, that nice crisp burst of power all in one shot. Feels good, just gone. Just, I don't know what your favorite weapon is in this game, folks, but you know what mine is. Straight up. Oh man. Of course, it always stinks when you're a little too far away and they leave with 0.2% health. But you know. Demolisher. One, two, three. Ship color. The scout be like, why you bully me? Oh my gosh. Modding is it's on our wish list, but it's not a priority. Did I say that right? It's high on the wish list, but a low priority. There we go. That's what it is. We think that modding would be amazing, but it's not going to be something that we are addressing anytime soon.
Counted and deposited.
We'll see if we can bring it to life. I'm hopeful. I'm personally hopeful. That should make you guys hopeful. Don't get overly hopeful though, because those expectations are getting a little out there. Hang on a second. Whew. I digress. Where is the neutron cannon? In EVERSPACE 1, of course. We can't bring everything back. Or can we? Guess we'll find out. Can't go to Avon Rest? All right, let's go ahead. Let's head back. I don't think I can go to Volta Nebula either. Is that? Shoot, I didn't plan on traveling to too much of Union. High hopes, low expectations. Checks. Yeah, there you go. That's a good way of putting it. Something that I've always been, like one of the mantras that I had growing up. Something that my mama, she taught me, is she would always say, plan for the worst, hope for the best. That's how I've really lived my life. Is just being excited in general for the possibilities, but also being ready for the proverbial storm. You know what I'm saying? This went deep. Hey, I'm just telling you like it is. General, a vibrant member of the community, might I add. I know you guys have not really showed us in-game Scout different variants that the player can purchase, but imagine shiny Scout with Outlaw Scout wings or something. Yeah, so definitely imagine that. We do want to make sure that, and we've kind of talked about this before in previous streams, but we want to make sure that the player ship is very distinct from all other ships in the game. This is intentionally designed. We want you to stand out and be proud of that. Now, that being said, there will still be components that are referential, that were inspired by other ships in the game. Like that's also something that is going to happen. I'll just straight up be clear about that. But don't think you can fly an Outlaw Scout. That's not our vision. You can't find a ship and say, I want to fly that and then get to. That's not how this is going to work. It's all going to be a matter of how you're taking the ships that you're purchasing and customizing those yourself. Okay, so in some cases you can get a little bit of that style and get a little of that feel, but it's not going to be like, I just want to make sure you guys like you get that as a whole. Also, just to add a little bit of further clarification, we've actually shown some of those Scout variations from a year and a half ago. What? So long ago? Yeah, so we actually did Dev Diaries. You should check us out at youtube.com/rockfishgames. We have Dev Diaries at the core of the Kickstarter, where we went through and we talked about different aspects of what our vision looked like, so you guys understood what that looks like. And one of the things that we talk about is we showcase the player models for the ships. And you actually see multiple versions of the wings and of the bodies and the engines for the Scout. That's right. Way, way, way back. So definitely look that up. Go over to youtube.com/rockfishgames. You can see that from so long ago. Whoops. Misclick there, sorry. Let's see. I know you guys are asking many questions. Eric, are you my brother? I don't know. Is your name Alan or Gary? If someone were to use Twitch integration, would it work? I know that we've had an internal discussion about Twitch integration. Honestly, I'm gonna be straight up clear with you, Anime Girl 26, not 27, and certainly not 25. Woo! We've talked about Twitch integration. There is zero guarantee on if we will do that or not. Because, yeah, there are some really cool things that you can do with it. It's a bit of work. And we also have to look at it at the end of the day, like, how meaningful would that be for a single player experience? Yes, we're shooting for 20 to 30 hours of a campaign, and then beyond that, it goes into an open world space, right? And you can kind of go do your thing. Like, is it going to be super effective for community engagement during a live stream, to have people poke in, to have that sort of interaction? It builds a lot of various questions, and I'm sure that you guys can come up with a million reasons why it would be amazing. I'm not gonna doubt that, like it is, but you also have to keep in mind, we still have all of this game to make. So our focus is here. We want to make this first, and then beyond that, once we iron out all the details and bring to life everything that we've promised, then we can start going into that more unique territory, and maybe we can start having that discussion of, okay, what does Twitch integration look like? Okay, I want to be very transparent here. I want to make sure that you guys know. It's like, again, there has been a talk about it, but we can't, you know, I'm not going to tell you something that's just not true, right? So just keep that in mind. How many colors for the ship will there be? I think currently there's 25. Is that right? Is that right? 25 with the added option to change the texture and change the roughness, right? And then emissive lights, I think there's 15? Is that right? I have to check my notes. It's somewhere around there. But even beyond that, there are still other elements of customization that are coming to the ship. So I'm throwing out numbers. Those numbers may or may not matter so much. Because again, like, even though it's 25 colors, the way that you can adjust and tweak them through the roughness, through the texture, I mean, you can start creating even more colors through that. So just keep that in mind. Let's see. Making sure all of you are all taken care of. Will we be able to change ship parts, wings, etc.?
I detect the wayward Okkar unit mentioned by the communications manager.
I'm sorry, Hive. I was not done with my conversation with this delightful chap over on Twitch, Von Malefic? Username aside, we do have the plans to have ship parts be able to be changed. How that is fully integrated, we're still working on. Be that unlocked by finding parts, or if you purchase the ships, so that's what I mean by that. But rest assured, that is definitely in the works. That is something we want to do. Jack the Rebel 86 says, hello there. I'm sorry, Jack the Rebel 86. This is a pre-recorded stream. We're not engaging in chat.
It stirred up a group of freelancers near the gate. Let's check it out.
Cool. All right, let's go ahead and, man, we have 25 minutes. There's so much community stuff to show. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say, hey guys, like, do you want me to show any more stuff in the game, like for the next 5-10ish minutes before we transition to community stuff? Because community stuff's really hot. Oh my gosh, it's so great. I love it so much. Is there something you guys wanted to see or want me to talk about to like show you in game? right now, because I wanna be there for you. I wanna do this. Make sure you're getting what you're looking for. Oh my gosh. Ships! Let's see, what's my button? When you say ships, do you mean like variations of like the possible ships? So like these different parts and pieces and stuff? Is that what you're talking about? Or are you talking about like enemy ships? Actually, I'm a big fan of, where's it at? Yeah, I kind of like the sticking out. I like the blue coloration that's going on here. I like that a lot. Kind of like these. Just kind of doing, and it's funny because like I'm doing this right now and you're all like, man, I wish I could do that. You're gonna be able to. Oh my gosh, that makes me excited. I cannot wait for us to have this actually implemented to where you can poke in and like change this type of stuff. Granted, you'll have to do it at a station, but like there's a lot of different ways that you can combine and format a ship, even though it's the exact same ship type. Something like that. He's very wide. He's a wide boy.
You won't live to tell anyone.
Oh yeah? Get wrecked.
Target destroyed.
Alright, so yeah, they're gonna start talking about some stuff for this, but let's see. Let's see what else. It was a ruse? Oh my god. By showing all objects on 2 axes, regardless if objects are also translated into the Z-axis or not. What a request. Can't do that, sorry. Let's see. Ship classes? Yeah, I can show some other ship classes. Let me,
Humans cease fire at once. I am a Nevark, speaking in the name of
I triggered this mission.
warrior cast.
Do we care about this? Do you want me to skip this?
That a member of ours was shot down at these coordinates.
You attacked us first.
Hold on. I'm here on behalf of the Damaris Port Authority. Let me handle this.
You may approach our vessel.
This is a misunderstanding. The Okar attacker wasn't piloted by one of your people. He was human.
This is ridiculous.
What you are saying is highly unlikely.
Okay, so that's all we'll do for that story. I quite like the shield effect, though. It makes me happy. Wraith 000 says, hello, Eric. Hope you are doing good. I'm doing great, man. Thank you for asking. That's delightful. All right, everyone's saying skip it. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna super skip. That's right, I'm going all the way to Nefty's Plains. Somebody's like, what? What? Dev cheats! Get wrecked! I wanna show you cool stuff. We're not gonna wait around for that. Nay, I say to thee. All right, let's look at some other ship classes. Which ones do you wanna see? Do you wanna go to the Interceptor? Do you wanna go to the gunship? Do you wanna go to the Scout? Do you wanna go to the Sentinel? Or do you wanna go to the gunship? Dang it, there's supposed to be one of each here. Well, that's fine. Do you wanna, which one do you all wanna see more? Hacks, yeah, yes. In development hacks, absolutely. You're welcome, by the way, otherwise the stream wouldn't have enough time to show you all this stuff. Sentinel, gunship parts, can't do gunship parts yet. I'm sorry. I would love to show gunship parts, but they're not done. The pilot was human, really, you can look it up in my VOD. Oh my god. Nice talent. All right, so, because I can't do gunship, the other one I see is Sentinel. So let's go ahead and jump over to the Sentinel. I really do like the way that the Sentinel looks. So let's go ahead and we're gonna buy this one and transfer the old one to the home base. So we have them both. Okay, so I'm also gonna cheat and show the variations of the Sentinel as well. Just because I want you to see. It's nice, it's pleasant, it feels good. We're gonna go ahead and stop thrusters. Man, did all of you see the transition from using the alt button to look around now? Oh my gosh, I'm so pleased with the results of this. That nice little it's so subtle, but it feels so righteous. Oh my gosh. I hope you guys really appreciate that. So, okay. So on the Sentinel, we've got, you know, the different engine types, of course. These are all the same engine types that you see on all of the medium ship classes. You have the wings that are very distinct, however, on the Sentinel class. I'm a big fan of these classic wings, and when I say classic, these are the same wings that the Sentinel actually has in EVERSPACE 1. What? Mind blown moment. Granted, there are some unique traits about it because these are customized Sentinels. They are not colonial Sentinels. But then you also have, I do like the forward swept wings right here. You also have the different cockpits, of course, that you can combine. I'm a big fan of having the cockpit hang down like this with these forward swept wings, because then you can do this and just like you have the guns right in front of you. I don't know, there's something about this that's just awesome. I love this so much. I love this so much. And look, you can see the different weapons. They're getting more defined. They don't all just look the same anymore. Making progress. Oh my gosh. Wait, so a lot of paperclips said something. Give bonks. Wait a second. What does that even mean? Can you spin the rest of the stream running into things? Why? You're sad there's no vertical winglets yet? That would be pretty dope, wouldn't it? Are the ships manufactured by a corporation? I didn't see any shipyard names or anything. So actually, I love that question because there's a talking point there, and it's mostly that there are different manufacturer modules. And what I mean by modules, I'm talking about the components inside of the ship. Maybe we should call these components instead of modules. Maybe? I don't know. Either way, regarding these components, you do have those various manufacturers. The ships themselves are kind of an amalgamation of colonial, G&B technology, outlaw, scrapping, and even in some cases, dare I say and mention it, OCAR. Oh my gosh, like there's a lot of things that come together to make these ships what they are. Like where their energy source comes from, how they utilize their shields, their plating, sensors, like all of these different things are giving them varying abilities and powers to really overcome their adversaries. It's taking the DMZ and using it as a playground for them. So you're not gonna see ships like, you're not gonna like buy a ship that is specifically manufactured by one person. You might see it slapped and painted on and says G&B mining, for example, but it's still gonna be an amalgamation of sorts. I love that word, amalgamation. We're gonna do that again. So, yeah, but yeah, your main manufacturer pieces are what go into the ship, not the ship itself. Oh my gosh, I went over time. I need to show you guys the cool stuff that the community's been working on. Oh my gosh. So let me do the transitional thing. Let's actually go over here really quick, and you can check out all of the different social media places to go to be engaged with us, to have conversations outside of the streams. We have a pretty decently active Discord community. There's a lot of fan art that shows up there. You'll actually see a lot of that being shown here in just a moment because it's amazing. You guys are super cool. But then we also post like some of the best screenshots that you do onto our Instagram. You can get noticed. People will see you. Yay! You can shout thanks, Mom. You have Reddit there, which is also a vibrant little community that he's mostly been taken care of, and he's been a boss mode on that. Yeah, so YouTube and Twitch on there, of course, as well as Twitter. So you got all your different sights and sounds. It's a fun, good time space, I think, I hope. For the most part, it generally is. So cool. All right, so let's go ahead and transfer over to the fun stuff, the imagery. So we're gonna start off with Artemis. He actually found the passive on the Striker that allows you to grab drones, so kudos to him. Yes, that's a thing you can do. You can grab drones. And he has this armor drone locked in his sights. I think it's an armor drone. That doesn't look like an armor drone to me. That actually looks like just a standard attack drone. But he's grabbing it, he's taking it, pounding it out the way that he wants. It's pretty awesome, fun, good stuff. Next on our list, we have BW Lambrick. We got a couple from him. This is his first. He's just doing a little baby Lego of the Sentinel. I think it's quite delightful, very pleasant. Comes together pretty well. Solid work, frankly speaking. I love anything that you do with your hands that you're putting together to reproduce something that you love. I want to see it. I love this type of stuff. Go freaking crazy. I want to see a claymation next week. Whoa, calm down. But this type of stuff, it just makes me so happy. Again, these are all BW Lambrick. This is actually a low res image from the shot, from the game. So graphic settings have been turned down, but still, that still packs a pretty strong punch. Oh my gosh, good stuff. You can see the levels, I don't even need to say anything because clearly I can't. Oh my gosh, but regardless, you can see that there's a lot of different elements that we're trying to bring to a whole. We've got sort of, biological space creatures existing where debris, like the destruction of ships has happened. There's gonna be a lot more pertaining to this. You guys have seen the critter. Wait, what? You haven't seen the critter running around? Oh my gosh, maybe that's something we need to show again soon. Let's see, we also have this one from him. Just a really delightful shot that really shows the scope, I think, at this site. This is surrounding a gas giant, one of the platforms that's here. Just really nice composition there, BW Lambrick, really good stuff. We got two more from him. We got this one that's highlighting the Outlaw Demolisher. If you guys haven't seen this bad boy close up, well, here you go. That's him in all his glory. Does look like this one still is a work in progress, though. Either the settings are turned down. But I can assure you that his details actually a bit more than that, at least in the version that I've been doing. And then finally this one, which I really love this because it really showcases the variety of locations that we're aiming for at the end of the day. Like, we don't want you to just fly around in space and be like, oh, it's a rock. Oh, it's a rock. What do you know? It's another rock. Like, we don't want that. That would be boring. That would be lame. So we are invoking a lot of vibrancy. We're invoking this almost like romantic engagement within the scenery that we're really happy with the results thus far, but there's gonna be more. We wanna make sure that we have these very distinct styles coming to you. And I think that BW Lambrick did a really good job capturing this one that really highlights it. All right, the next one is from Excelsior, referencing another great game, I would say. For anyone who's, I'm sure somebody knows what game this comes from. I'm pretty confident that somebody out there does, because if you're watching EVERSPACE 2, somebody out there has got to know what this comes from. I think it's a great little reference. This isn't a promo stream for them, obviously, but still very cool. Love it, Excelsior. Nice stuff. Next, we've got a little meme from J-Gnarl. I love the way that it comes together. There's gonna be more on this in just a moment, but this is legitimately a scene in EVERSPACE 2. Kazaa, if you are there, mwah, I love it. It is beautiful. Oh my gosh. Very much comes together. Good stuff. So now let's get to Kazaa himself. We've got a number of things to talk about with Kazaa. One of which is actually a video. I'm not gonna have enough time to do the whole video, but I can at least direct you guys to it. But first we're gonna go into one of the screenshots that he's been taking. He's been dabbling with, I'm assuming, some form or variation of editing software to bring these forward. Here you have the research station that we were at with the ship that we just saw, the names of which are apparently escaping my mind at the moment. But he does a really good job, making them stand out. Like, literally, I'm actually blocking it, but like literally stand out from the frame. Like, I love the detail that he's going on with that. Really cool stuff. Just bringing it all together. Whoops, sorry, green screen. doing a really great job. He kept exploring this and made even more. He actually like made this collage, which comes together really well. Again, this is Kazaa, just having a lot of fun, sharing what he's finding, and just seeing multiple scenes, you know, with the different ships that you can run into currently. Just, yeah. Isn't that awesome? The Crispy Muffin says, wow, right? Like, let's have a round of applause for Kazaa. Like, he's been doing some really good work. It's pretty stinking cool to be a witness to this, and his love for the game and just like capturing these moments. Really, really neat stuff. Okay, so next I think is, oh yeah, it's another one. Another collage. Now it's the player ships. He's got Cedo on the left, Union on the right. So you can kind of see how much variety we are bringing to the table. Even though it's not done, of course, there's going to be obviously there's going to be more. You guys do that. But yeah, like just so cool. I would love to put these up on my wall. Speaking of which, we'll get to that in just a second. But we have so many more great shots. This one comes from Lincoln Forcer. He actually, I think he's doing a playthrough of EVERSPACE 2 right now. Maybe he's streaming it, maybe he's doing YouTube. I'm not actually sure which. But this is one of his screenshots from his in-game antics. And I love the reflections of this very vibrant, very red beam laser reflecting on his ship. Like, he's got a very metallic finish. Really makes it pop. I think it was a great choice. Looks clean, looks great. So he's been having a lot of fun adding some screenshots to our group as well. Next, we're going into the mysterious Mr. E. Now, he was actually highlighted previously as well. I mean, mostly everybody on this list was highlighted previously. We do have a couple newcomers like Artemis and Lincoln Forcer. But yeah, like some of the stuff that mysterious Mr. E does is like, I was talking about like printing it out and putting it up on my wall like this. Wow, I want it. I want to just pop this bad boy off and slap it against my wall. That's great. What's that? You think that one's just okay? Well, how about this one then? Do you like that one? Mysterious Mr. E really delivering on some really poppin' posterizations. Woo! I think it all comes together so well in what you're trying to accomplish. I want to watch the movie now. Can you make a movie? It's gonna be the next question. But wait, we're not done. He's got another one. Oh my gosh. Ah! Ah! Goodness gravy. I'm just loving the way that it's all coming together. Oh my goodness. Make a movie, huh? Hey, Tulo Tulameo, get on it, right? Yeah, this one, I love the way that it all comes together. The cropping is just great. The light sources, and it's like, you're not messing with like 50 billion colors. It's like white, black, orange, and it's the warmness that it brings to my soul. Oh my goodness. That is just well done, sir. Just well done, Mysterious Mystery. And now we're gonna go into another user who's joined us more recently than not. It's Starvox, and he's been doing this paneling system that highlights different moments. And with his ship, he's also using a striker, a nice white finish, and he's got these almost white beam lasers that just seem strongly appropriate for it too. Just, I love the way that comes into play. Really, really good. EVERSPACE TV series. Oh my gosh. Goodness gravy, where are we going? We're making a video game. We can't also make a movie and make a TV series. Oh, you guys are mad lads, and I love you. Don't change. All right, let's keep going. We got another one from Starvox doing the same sort of theming. Like, he's got the paneling system, right? We got this bad boy. That's kind of small. I guess that's not as high res as I thought it was, but this should work. This should work for the stream. But really crisp, clear images. Like, simplicity is beauty, and just that nice focus in on the ship and adding that little bit of depth of field, which you can do in game, by the way. I didn't show that today. I haven't actually shown that in a while, but you can actually do this in game. Like, he's not photoshopping this to oblivion. You can go into the photo editing mode inside of EVERSPACE 2, select a spot, and it will create your depth of field for you, and then you can adjust it using the mouse wheel. There's lots of options. That may be something we talk about again, and then in another upcoming stream, just so you guys know, like this is coming straight out of the game. This is not getting doctored up too much. I can't say the same about Mysterious Mr. E, because like this one, that's definitely doctored up, but still gorgeous. I love it. But I digress. Next one, we've got this one. If I recall, this comes straight out of EVERSPACE 1. This is an EVERSPACE 1 scene. Are you kidding me? Yeah. Yeah. This is also Starvox. Well done. This is an ancient structure. When you are looking at the outside in, when the warp gate is actually active. So it gives the runic effects without being plastered on anything. It's very, very cool. A really nice shot. Really loving how it's all coming together. You guys, oh my gosh. I seriously love everything that you bring to your art. That's what this is. It's art. You guys are just, you really have an eye for it. Last one, we're gonna go with Zen-imation. Also, it's a very simple scene, but I think that this is really important one to highlight, because this isn't just a bunch of stones in space that you're blasting back and forth. Like, you have these very rich, detailed locations planet side as well. And you can see, like, there's other planets out there. They're within these solar systems that you are going to be able to venture around, encounter in your screenshots from different perspectives. Like, there's so many nice, just subtleties and nuances to how you're approaching. Like, I mean, just look at the detail on this ground. That legitimately looks like a real world shot to me. Legitimately looks like somebody was just taking some photo shots over in Arizona or something. I don't know. Wherever they're at. Like, dang, that's clean. And then it comes in, all of a sudden you see the planet and you're like, oh, that's not Earth. Well, you got us. But yeah, just really, really comes together. And we love how masterfully you are embracing the photo mode inside of EVERSPACE 2. Keep it coming. You guys are on fire. And if you do have any more tricks of the trade, like, you know, more Lego building, you want to do that claymation I was talking about, I understand if it's not going to happen. I can dream. But like, if you guys do anything crazy with tangible goods that you want to harken back to EVERSPACE to some degree or capacity, a long time ago, I cut out EVERSPACE ships out of chicken nuggets. I'm not even joking. Show us! Drop it in the Discord. It's awesome to share. We want to give you praise for that because we love you dearly. This stuff is so cool. And in the meantime, we're going to keep developing as hard as we can, and all of that type of stuff. You guys kind of know the drill at this point. So, all right. My time is actually expired. I know that generally I kind of leave the ending open for additional questions, but I actually got to run. My wife has to pick up my child, and I do have a life. I know it's kind of hard to view sometimes, but I'm gonna get out of here. You guys have been awesome. I have been Eric Schrader, the community ambassador for Rockfish Games. Don't stop being awesome. We'll catch you next week where we might have something new to show, maybe. I don't know. It's all right, toodles. Ah! We have been making so many quality of life improvements because of you guys. I just really have to put my love right back towards you guys and how much you have been encouraging us at Rockfish and straightening out certain systems and powers and abilities to really make this the best it can be. We will continue providing you excellent content, and we look forward to the continued development of EVERSPACE 2. There are so many little details that I am excited to talk with you about as we continue through development that you have made better. Thank you.